again, just kind of go back, take away from the other night, and just how you move forward against Bucknell tomorrow.
The first few minutes, I thought we did some good things. I liked our overall flow. I mean, I thought we played within ourselves at the highest level that we've done that to this point offensively. We were pretty sharp defensively. Had some mishaps, especially in transition. Mid to late first half, stretched it early second half, and really just held on. Didn't play very well down the stretch. Credit, those guys, of course. Their point guard was absolutely terrific. We were really poor in transition defense, and that's something we've got to get better at. And Bucknell will pick their spots in transition too, but they're good in every facet offensively. They're really good. Super well balanced and execute well. They've got a really good rhythm right now. And a veteran group that plays well with one another, executes good stuff, play inside out. They've got two bigs that can really score.
Mm-hmm.
Overall shooting it at crazy percentages and handling the ball well. They're very good, and they're sound defensively. They're good at what they do. We're gonna have to make some jump shots. We have to play well.
Day off on Tuesday. Could you see the effects of that yesterday with getting the team back?
Yeah, I thought we were a little more sharp yesterday. Looked a little fatigued down the stretch the other day. A lot of that had to do with our opponent, of course. Some of it's mental too, right? How much sometimes guys, when you're in a fog, sometimes is it more mental or physical, and you're trying to figure that thing out. In this group, we're all still trying to figure each other out. And again, we can say this until we're blue in the face. We got to figure out how to win. As simple as that sounds. And we had some doubt. You could see with our body language there, especially mid to late second half the other day. And thank God we held on and did enough down the stretch. I thought Terry and Kyron and some other guys really stepped up and pulled us through. But the more you win, the more you get, hopefully you get used to winning, and you figure out what it takes to win. All of those little things, and it's going to take some of that, of course, before you're at the level of confidence and accountability to win in our league.
What type of adjustment do you think it's been for Brandon, Jackson, Jabri with the new system?
Mm-hmm.
The minutes might be down. The newcomers are making big contributions. With just the transition.
I think all of those guys have they've had really good days, and they've had days where they're maybe not quite as good. But that's the same thing with our newcomers. I think we've got a lot of healthy competition and parity, and we just had a long staff meeting just now. I mean, who knows who will start versus Bucknell? Who knows who will start the next game? Who will be starting in February? I have no idea. I don't care. I just want to help these guys get better. We've got to figure out how to win together, figure out what our best version is. All these guys are going to continue to get opportunities. They have different skill sets, of course, and different strengths and weaknesses. We've got a couple lineups that I like a little bit more defensively. We've got a couple lineups where I like our skill level offensively a little bit more, and we've just got several different pieces. But I really enjoy working with these guys, the newcomers, the returners. It's just a pleasure. I mean, these guys will be ready to work here, in an hour when we step foot out there between the lines again.
Speaking of Jackson, kind of what's his scholarship situation right now?
You asked it. Jackson has earned a scholarship. I don't know when he was awarded it. Maybe a couple weeks ago, just top of my head. He's a scholarship player in the SEC because he's earned it. He's a good player.
I mean, the impression he's made on you, again, we talked about before he was in the portal, decided to come back. I mean, since you have him, worked with him now, just kind of what has stood out about him?
I love him. I love all our guys. Jackson is as accountable a player as I've ever coached. If you asked him to try to run through the wall, he would try to run through the wall for Georgia basketball and for his teammates. He's awesome. His teammates love him. I'll always go back and watch that video when he was awarded a scholarship. And maybe one day he puts it out. But that's on him. But he was thrilled. Obviously, his teammates were even happier for him, which made a staff ecstatic because everyone in the room knows the value that he brings to our program in so many different ways. And it's an honor to coach him. I know exactly what he's going to do out there this afternoon. He's going to block out. He's going to close out. He's going to talk. He cares. He's going to cut hard. He's going to be successful. He's a big part of what we're doing. And after a couple months of practice, it was an absolute no-brainer that he's earned a scholarship.
Going back to Mark's question about the people coming back on this team, how much progress have you seen with how they play defense? Just the emphasis that you guys as a new staff have put on that.
We've got a bunch of capable defenders, newcomers and returners, and we all have different philosophies, and there's so many different ways to win, right? And you coach to your personality, you coach what you know, you coach what you've had success with, and all of these guys, returners and newcomers, are adapting, and we're adapting to them. And so it's, there's in this whole equation, it's 14 guys just trying to figure it out, and a bunch of staff members trying to be on the same page. And everyone in the program is new. I mean, everyone, right? We're all new to each other. I guess other than those five, but they're new to everyone else, right? So there's days we do this well and we don't do this quite as well, and we're just trying to grow every day.
Y'all had a quick turnaround last week, Friday to Monday. Gonna have another one of those this week, but 2 games on Monday,
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday. What's your approach to that? How do you think the team handled that, and do you have any changes that you're gonna make?
Since you asked it, we've tried to shorten it up a little bit. Hoping we can be a little bit more sharp mentally and in transition defense and with our communication. It's been a long fall, and we've worked. These guys have really worked, and we've had some long practices, and like everyone else, we've been through some colds and flus and knees and ankles and soreness and all that. And we in hopes to come out really fresh and give ourselves the best chance against Bucknell. We got after it pretty quickly yesterday. We got to some competition pretty quickly and tried to get out. We're gonna try to do the same thing today, and we'll evaluate. Again, it's trial and error. What is best for this team? What's best for this roster? It might be practice in 3 hours. It might be practice in an hour and a half. I'm not sure, but right now we're experimenting with going a little bit harder, shorter.
Coach, what was I guess the background on bringing Jason Holt in from Alabama? Just kind of what led to that?
Really, every name that hit the portal, you research to a certain extent, unless you're already familiar and you say, well, he's definitely a target or he's definitely not a target. Jason was one of those guys that, oh, he's in our league. I remember scouting, and he's on the report, and you see him. He got limited opportunity in SEC games, but what we saw we liked. We go back and watch Synergy, study him very closely, go back and watch high school and AAU stuff, and start speed tracking the relationship building. And they came over for a visit. He and his mom, an AAU coach, not long after we made that first point of communication, and we thought it was a good fit. He's got positional size. He embraces defending. He's one of our best, easily one of our best defenders. Could end up being our best defender in time as he continues to clean up some things. All of us got to clean up some stuff. But, a high-level competitor, plays really hard, good athlete, and a developing offensive player. And we like Juice. He's a good player.